Brad support. Steven thinks Granite Shack is world class.
Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for another show for the EPL Review Show, going through all of last weekend's results and fixtures, and just generally having a debate on it, really. So, yeah, we've got first time on the channel, Chloe. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Returning, obviously, Chris and Brad from Leicester Till I Die TV. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a bit of a weird week in football, but apart from that, I'm doing all right.
No worries. Noel, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Steven. How are you?
And Luca, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, by the way. And by the way, right, I did not want Ronaldo Sanchez. I only said that, right, just because obviously I only said that, right, because at the end of the day, right, if that's no, if that's only
are you going to keep saying
you've got no choice.
No, I'll just end this now with a song. Luca wants Sanchez everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes. Renato is Sanchez everywhere he goes.
Brad, are you going to get beaten tonight by Macy?
Probably, mate, because I'm not basing Maisie in the quiz. It's just a one-on-one, mate. I could get on top. I could end up below you in the leaderboard. It's a difficult quiz. I couldn't give a rat's ass. All I care about is you've gone from not wanting Sanchez to being your best friend.
That's crazy.
Brad, do you have a sort of another thing next to you with the, so you can see the answers coming up?
I want to now, mate. Just to take the piss.
That's mad.
There it is.
Anyway, it's your show. It's your show. It's your show, mate.
Yes, go back to it. Yeah.
Let's talk about the topic.
Just by the way, Luca, your little throwaway comment just before the stream started. Find me an actual video where I've actually said Xhaka's world class. Then you can justify your opinion.
You did.
Really? Which video, mate? Come on.
Ad said it.
Wow, because Ad said it. Right? Did it come out of my own mouth? No, so go and find it. Oh look, SFeatleyTV, Luca. Yeah, we need CMs. I'd take Renato Sanchez. Okay, you go.
Mate, I only said that, right?
It's only a quote from the stream.
Yeah, but Steven, look. I don't want Bernardo Sanchez, but what I will say is to that, if that comes down to the case, you have to take someone like that.
Give me a shout when we get to football.
I was just about to say, can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that Chris is just reading the book?
Okay, you can say that, but that completely goes against what you said at the start of the window. So there you go. Anyway,
Steven, you said
that's it. We're moving on.
Steven,
moving on.
You said Xhaka's world class.
You can keep saying it all you want, but move on. Right? Yeah.
I've got evidence.
Yeah,
all right. Well, cool. Let's go with it. Sanchez.
Right. By the way, we'll start with Man United versus West Ham.
I think West Ham will win.
Like West Ham would be disappointed with themselves. I
So
think it
do
was
I.
quite
So
an
do I.
even game at times. But Man United get an all-important win and yeah, putting themselves in sort of top spot for the top 4 right now. I think there was an altercation with West Ham fans at the end of the game, I believe, as well. Yeah, Brad, what did you make of this game?
I've been saying for a while now that West Ham fans maybe need to readjudge their season, because early in the season, and I know Chris did a show on it with a West Ham fan, that they were kind of doing what Leicester were doing in breaking up the top 4. They were up there. Now they're in fear of taking our title of Bottle Job Top 4 FC, because not only are they losing games against the bottom half of the table clubs, which, you can forgive every so often, but they seem to be doing it at a more consistent rates where they're dropping points. But now they're struggling. It's almost, against every team. And I feel like they're slowly getting found out. And I think in terms of mini deflating disasters for a season is West Ham needs to be careful that they don't start to go on a bad run. And because all of a sudden you give greater hope to, Spurs, to Wolves, to Brighton, and even to us, even though we're still a considerable amount of points off them with games in hand, granted. But you give them hope, thinking, well, hold on a minute, we're maybe looking at trying to sneak into the last Europa League, European Cup spot. But if West Ham keep knocking points off and keep struggling, and we get on a run, we could even overtake them. And I think West Ham fans will start to get a little bit twitchy on the old bum if they keep this sort of bad run up.
Yeah, because obviously, look, they're the ones that have played most. They're the ones that have played most games.
Yeah, and I think that starts having a psychological effect if other teams catch up and they're suddenly only 2 or 3 points behind them.
Don't worry, we'll get to the comments in a sec. But
I've got something to say about Reece quickly.
Yeah, we'll get to the comments in a sec. Okay. Right. So yeah, obviously, looking at West Ham, they've played the most games out of probably everyone around the top 4. So they're probably the more vulnerable. Plus, they've lost their last 2 and 5 games. They don't really want that to continue into the next game. Chloe, what did you make of it?
Of what? Sorry.
Man United West Ham.
It's not really a game I paid much attention to. I can't lie. It's just like, yeah, I think they're quite evenly matched, really.
Yeah, especially with the way Man United have been playing. I mean,
yeah.
Chris, Niall, as a Man United fan, what did you make of it?
Sorry, asking me.
What did you make of the?
I thought it was a 50-50 game from everything, and I actually thought it was going to be 0-0 until Rashford got that goal right on in 93rd minute of injury time to get Man United back in the top 4.
Yeah, so it was like I said, like I just said, it was even, but unfortunately West Ham will be kicking themselves over that, and it's another crucial win for Man United.
It's nice to see Leicester aren't the only team that let a late goal in.
Yeah, but we let in 2 and 1, mate.
Oh, you didn't have to say that, did you?
Well,
it just triggers it. It triggers it, mate. I can't help it. It's like a nervous tick.
Since you're talking about Leicester, let's move to Leicester and Brighton. So this one, what did you? I'll start with Chloe, being the Brighton fan. What did you make of this game?
Well, we weren't very good in the first half, and to be honest, we weren't very good until sort of the last half hour when we brought Welbeck, Lamptey and March on. I think that really sort of turned the tide in our favour, and obviously we got the late equaliser again. Bit disappointing not to actually go on and win that once we'd got the equaliser, because we were on top towards the end. But another good point.
Yeah, Chris, and what did you make of it from the Leicester point of view?
This kind of sums our season up in one game. Is that, I'm not saying we dominated, and probably when you look at the overall stats, etc., it was probably a fair result. But we're getting into winning positions, And I think Brad made the point the other day that we start to go defensive from about the 70th. If we're in the lead at 75 minutes, he'll go defensive, and you can't hold on to a 1-0 lead. It's impossible. And the best form of defense is attack. And you take off our one striker. It was disappointing. And I don't think a point did either of us any good, to be honest with you. But all hail Graham Potter, Brad?
Mate is a definite manager I rate. Trust me. If
I'm being
anyone
I hope he's doing well. I just don't get onto all the hype. And I said this last night with Maisie, is he's doing very well. But at this point, I just don't get on board with all the hype. He's not ready to be England manager. He's not ready to be Man United manager. In a couple of seasons,
how much did Gareth Southgate achieved before he became England manager?
Yeah, but they
were talking about Potter replacing Southgate, who's got us to 4th, 3rd, and 2nd in consecutive tournaments. I'm not decrying him. Just saying,
achieved more before. If you compare where Potter is now and where Southgate was when he became England manager, Potter is more successful. Can you say
achieving something in the Swedish league? I don't know how good the Swedish league is.
He got Östersunds, is it, from the 4th division?
Yeah, they beat Östersund.
I don't know what the standard of football is over there.
Or is it Europa? He got them European football anyway. That's pretty.
Saying somebody got Rangers from when they were relegated.
Yeah, but Chris, they shouldn't have come to the Emirates and beat us 2-1.
Yeah, and like I say, when he's won something, I will then admit that he's a good manager. But at the moment, we've had a season and a half where one season he kept Brighton up, and half a season where he's doing very well. And I'm not saying he's a bad manager. He's a good manager, but he isn't just the second coming, which a lot of. I'm not saying it's all Brighton fans; it's other teams' fans that are saying that he's this wonderful.
Well, Chris, when you've got a clown running your football club, you're going to say that. We've got a clown running a football club.
I mean,
we got a guy who'll loan out 4 players and then sit there next week saying, "I've got no players to play a game."
Yeah, but I mean, I hope Brighton do it. I mean, if Leicester aren't going to finish 4th or 5th again this season, I would love to see a West Ham, a Brighton, a Wolves, somebody outside the so-called ESL 6 that can go and break that, and do what we did. And I would love it to be Brighton. And then I would, I'll be quite happy to say, yeah, he's a good manager. And I will say that now. He's a good manager.
I always said, and I don't know if Chloe agrees with me, from last season, if you got a quality striker in there, they'd shoot up the table like a rocket. Because the one problem they did have was score goals. And if they had a quality striker that converted the chances they get, because they did create a lot of chances per game, and they still do, I'd think they could be winning a lot more games and further up the table than they are now.
I mean, I think scoring goals, that is a massive problem. I'm not sure if getting a goal scorer in would necessarily improve that, because I don't know, we don't score enough across the pitch. Our midfields definitely don't contribute much. I think we've got most our goals this season were scored by Mopé, Welbeck, Trossard and McAllister, and all our other players are on 1 or none. So it's I think we probably do need a striker and someone to play alongside Mopé as well, because he plays better with another striker, as seen against Leicester, because it was him that put the ball in for Welbeck. It was a good cross. But I'm not sure if it's as easy fix as it might seem. And also, you could get someone in and then they could not score and not basically, can't think of the word. We could get someone in and they could flop, basically. And I think if we did get someone in that was a proven goal scorer, they would be quite expensive. And I'm not sure we can afford to take the risk necessarily. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, because finding a decent striker could be very difficult, especially if you start looking abroad, because you got to give them. It's like you got to give them time to adapt or something like that. So maybe someone that's Premier League proven might be more optional.
Brad, what was the score when Leicester played Man United?
No, what time did it was 4-2, wasn't it?
4-2 to Leicester, was it? Sorry, I just
Right,
I don't know whether Reece remembered that or not. You know.
Right, through it's funny how I rate Renato Sanchez and Luca, and then once him, it will be Andre Silva next. One of our fans, age 60. Oh God, yeah, that's not great.
No, not
that's
good.
sad to hear.
Sorry to hear that.
Really sad to hear. We're going higher than fourth, calling it now. Okay, so he's going.
Say something,
imagine
right?
you main third
right?
then.
Can I say something, right? And I know what Stephen's going to say. We discussed about this the other day on my stream. You're going to go by the table and all that stuff. Mate, you Man United fans, right, were panicking, right, a few weeks ago saying you weren't even going to get into the top four. You lot are ahead of us in the league, yeah? I did call it out and say that United got a good chance of getting in the top four.
That doesn't mean it solves their problems.
Yeah, but if they get Champions League, United fans will love it, mate.
Yeah, but you're looking at it from an outsider's point of view. You
Just
don't
like
look
Arsenal,
inside the club. Do you see what going? I keep telling you. Do you know what's happening inside the club?
Yes, I do know what's happening.
Well, what's happening inside the club, Luca?
Hey, we've got a boardroom exclusive here.
Their manager, right, is going to become a technical director at the football club, right? Yeah. So technically, right, they'll have to look for whatever manager they're going to be getting in the summer, whether it's Pochettino, whether it's whoever it is.
Great. Do you know what else? Do you know what else is happening?
Yes, the players are falling out.
Yeah. Do you know half of them want to leave?
Brad's reading the book Once Upon a Time.
Do you know what? Do you know why? Do you know half of them want
to leave? It's a joke book. It's Arsenal's best goal scorers.
Why is it because of that question what Stephen asked me about that striker who scored like one goal or something?
He didn't score any. He scored one. He scored one goal. One
He
goal.
did.
Like, and you're comparing him like he was the second all-time goal scorer.
Ragnick's going to be director at the club. That's what he's going to be.
Yeah, he might be able to. Yeah, but the problem is that because they've got no manager coming in for the summer, they don't know who they're getting. Right, Pogba doesn't want to stay. Ronaldo probably is looking like he's borderline wanting to stay or not. There's a number of other players that have fallen out with Ragnick, and they're saying no, they want to leave. Their squad's gonna tear in too.
Yeah, but
so
then what if they get
Champions
League?
Now,
United fans right on YouTube didn't expect they weren't even going to get top four.
Great.
I'm one of those people saying that they would win it.
And by the way, if you ain't checked the table, clearly you haven't. We're 2 points behind with a game in hand.
We established this the other day, and I know.
So what? So why are you saying like it's all over?
To me, I don't think we'll get top four. I think it's over, in my opinion, as a perspective.
So you can not over look off. You can finish. You can wait.
We've only just gone over 2 games.
We haven't bought anyone. There's 5 days or 6 days until
you don't have to buy someone just to keep going forward. At the end of the day, one thing that Arsenal have improved on last season, right? And I might just jinx this, and I do apologise, sort of, but not really.
I'll come back and warn you.
Fair enough.
Do it.
But last season, right, Arsenal would draw a game or lose a game against someone like Burnley, right? And then they'd go on 4, 5, 6 games where everybody would just rip the piss out of them because they couldn't win a game, they couldn't buy it, and they'd drop down the table. What they've done, at least till this point in the season, is everybody's gone, you couldn't beat Leeds or whoever, and then you win 4 out of your next 5 games. And it's like, oh, that didn't go as we planned it. So now everybody who's wanting to give jibes to Arsenal have seen you draw to Burnley, and they're kind of like waiting for the run to kick in. And if you kind of pick it back up, it's not going to happen.
But the thing is, you look at our fixtures, right? We've got the likes of Wolves away coming up, yeah? You really think we're going to beat Wolves the way they're playing at the moment?
It's going to be a tough game for anybody, mate.
Luca, you do know our squad's going to be back by then.
Yeah, but we're not guaranteed to actually win that game. So
yeah, but you're not guaranteed to win any game.
You're looking at it like
we're due to a win anyway because we've not won a game since Boxing Day. So
yeah, that's when we last had our full squad.
Yeah, but we're not due to actually win all that game because Wolves.
No, that's not true. You won that FA Cup. No, sorry, you didn't.
No, because we had the kids. And
it's like I've said to anyone. Look, it's like I've said to anyone. Right, the reason we won in Boxing Day is because we play half a side trying to play tactics that are designed for a full strength team. Arteta can't get the best out basically an understrength side. That's basically it. That's why he struggled to win a game since Boxing Day. No one will have a full
but if you have an elite manager, right, Stephen?
Hang on a minute.
Right, if you have an elite manager with an unstrength side, the elite manager.
Right, there you go. I'm going to finish first. Thank you.
The elite manager will get the best out of it.
I don't fucking care, Luca. You keep muting me. I'll mute you and I'll fucking drop you. I don't care. Right, I'm finishing my comment.
Right? Well, go on then.
Yeah, it's my show, mate. Like, jog on. Like, Jesus, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, so as soon as we get our full strength squad back, we'll be playing Wolves, we'll be playing all these other teams, and we'll have our full strength squad where we have been winning 2-3, 3-0, 4-0, 2-0, and still be able to push for top four. This is probably beyond to what I was going to say in the next stream, which is probably Arsenal are probably holding out until we get Xhaka and Partey back, so then we can actually go on and actually say we don't need a midfielder, which is probably what they're doing.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing right now because the next back pages is technically Arteta, right, is gone to see Stan Kroenke, right, and Arteta is willing to get some money. If he's actually willing to get any money, you ain't gonna get anyone in, right? If Stan Kroenke is actually going to give money to Arteta, if Arteta's gone where Stan Kroenke is.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, Arteta trying to ask Kroenke for money is like asking your stingy grandparent to give you pocket money and he punches you in the throat. You got more chance of that happening.
Yeah, but like I've said, you've got over half a season to play and you're 2 points behind with a game in hand and you're saying it's over, it's done. Jesus Christ. Oh, God knows what you'd be like in a title situation. Jesus. You'd be there 1 point to saying it's never going to happen.
Luca, if that's your genuine mentality around your own club, you might as well apply for the Watford job because before you can say it's over and you're going to get sacked, they'll end up sacking you anyway.
Mate, I've got more chance of building that Watford squad. So there you go. But
yeah, I know. Obviously, you'd loan in Sanchez, you get in Silva.
But then again, you don't get any players that want to improve the squad.
Good luck with that, Luca. You're going to build it up.
To be honest, right, I've got more better chance than building a side. You know what I mean, compared to Arteta. So there you go. So
I wouldn't say that, mate. You had £1 billion on FIFA and you spent it on Calvert-Lewin.
What? Hold on, what?
Yeah.
No. Somebody tell me this is a practical joke. This is one of them wind-up shows, isn't it? I'm going to find out I've been punked here. He spent 100 million.
He had £1 billion to spend, and instead of getting the best striker on the planet, he decided to get Calvert-Lewin. But that's what I realistically get. So but it's nothing to do with realism. It's called FIFA.
If you got £1 billion, mate, guess what? I'm signing the best players to Leicester. You see my squad. I've got Salah on there. I've got Bruno Fernandes. We've won the league, mate. I can find a Leicester on FIFA.
I've got Kimmich, Goretzka, big top players.
Yeah, but you've seen my squad anyway, so my squad's good. So.
My squad would destroy yours easy.
It won't. No, it won't. But
it would wipe the floor of yours any day of the week, mate. Just by its stats. So I agree with Luke's unpopular opinion. Arsenal will get top. Yeah, look, I don't have any faith Arteta will get top 4. But what I'm saying is, you can't say it's over when it's 2 points behind.
To me, I think it is.
That is what I'm saying.
I know why Luca doesn't want Arsenal to get top 4 because he's already said if Arsenal get top 4, he'd admit he'd be Arteta in.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what's even worrying? I'd worry if we were in a bad relegation battle.
Yeah, but you did say, Luke, if you made top 4, when the question was pressed to you, if you got top 4, you'd have to agree to be Arteta in.
Arteta kind of managed.
Yeah, but Steven said he'll give him a chance. That's what he said. So technically, that's what
Hang
Steven
on,
said
you
as well.
said you give him a chance. I said I'd
So
give him
did you,
Champions
mate.
League
So
football,
did you.
mate.
So did you. So did you.
I said I'd give him Champions League football, but you all said, no, I want to give him a chance, right? And I'll like throw away everything he's done before and I'll give him a chance.
Mate,
Right.
come on, mate. Seriously. This manager's not good enough.
I said if you give me the option of a new manager for the new season, I will take the manager right now, right? But if you're not going to give me a new manager, I'll give him the Champions League football that he's got to earn, so he can then fuck it up and then actually realise he's not any good at all.
Mate, trust the process.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Trust the process.
Mate, you trust the process because we keep offering you players like Renato Sanchez and Andre Silva, and you don't want to buy them.
No, because they're shit. Because they're shit.
Because they're better than our players.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. So there you
Tell
go.
me who's better than Andre Silva in our squad.
There's better players out. There's better players.
No. In our squad, is Lacazette better than Andre Silva?
I think Aubameyang's better than Andre Silva. If you put a proper manager, right?
How the fuck is he better?
If you put a proper manager, right, an elite manager, right, you take Arteta out of the equation. Right,
You
I think
said
Aubameyang's
finished.
Yeah, I do think he's finished, but I still think he's better than Andre Silva.
Help!
And
Neil's got it. Noah's got it right. Just
I'm done.
got it,
mate.
Let it in.
Mate. This is Brad's getting the fishing rod out.
No, that was me.
I think we're going to move on. I'm going to leave that right there. Aubameyang is apparently better than Andre
Mate,
Silva.
at least I'm not worse than Ty. So there you go. Ty thinks.
I wouldn't say that if I were
Mate, Steven.
I mean, Ty might be a clown, but he
Featley.
Get on well.
Featley. Featley.
Yeah, that's
right.
my name. Don't wear it out. I've only got one.
Yeah, Featley, right? Technically, right, at the end of the day, right, Ty and Julian are more deluded, mate, because they're Arteta in. So there you go. So they're deluded. So...
Yeah, but you've just said Aubameyang,
who
has never scored a goal in hardly 2 years, is better than Andre Silva, who's bagged about 34 goals in the last 40-odd bloody games.
I'm going overall by history, mate. So there you go. I'm not going by recent years.
No, I'm going on by his current form. What's the point of having
past
history,
going by history
if you're not... So you buy a player of history, not his current form?
You don't get it. Never mind.
No.
All right, Chris is asleep now. Chris is thinking, right, I'm getting out of it.
Right, anyway, I'm just going to leave that there. Chelsea and Tottenham.
What was another game? Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, football. Football.
Chelsea 2, Tottenham 0. Obviously, Chelsea trying to make sure they don't end up in a top 4 race, but Reece thinks by their inconsistency they will. Brad, do you think their inconsistency will drag them into the top 4 race? Or do you feel that this sort of result will just sort of keep them out of it?
What, Tottenham? I'm assuming, not Chelsea, or both.
No, Chelsea.
What?
No, the problem is you don't know what's going to happen now with the likes of Tottenham and Arsenal, because they're both. This was a vital stopping block for Chelsea in regards to trying to restabilise their top 4 claims. Going on a bad run, picking up draws, dropping points.
Ty's deluded, mate. Reece, I don't know what you're on about, Reece.
Hang on, Luke, carry on, Brad. Sorry about that.
It's all right. So this was probably a big call, because this was like what Conte's 9th game in charge of Spurs in the league, and it's the first time he's lost. Now you're going to see how he gets them to react, because we have seen this before. We all remember Jose when he got them off to a flying start, then they hit a block, and then they crash and burn down the league. I always said Conte is a manager that won't take any crap lying down. And unlike other managers, if these players start dropping tools and going, oh, well, that was fun, fuck this off, we can't beat Chelsea, we ain't getting top 4, let's settle for Europa League, he'll bench him. And it's going to see interesting for Spurs how he does it. And I think if Spurs start to now kind of follow their pattern of the last 2 seasons and keep dropping points, and then Arsenal kind of go through even a mini stutter, like say they draw and lose the next 2 games and then win 1 out of the next 3, I think Chelsea will gain the confidence knowing that they haven't been severely punished by other teams when they were on bad form. Because let's not forget, when they were on bad form, other teams weren't quite picking up the points they should have been. So I think this might just have been that block that Chelsea have hit and gone, right, that's the end of it. Let's get ourselves back to where we were at the start of the season. And I think this might just be, that point where they end up pushing themselves comfortably back into that top 4 and there's no more panic about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely hear that. Chloe, I will just get you to ask this question because Statics just asked this question. Where Brighton could finish, and would you be disappointed if Potter left at some point?
I think
he wants him at Arsenal.
Realistically, sort of top 8 is the highest I sort of expect. That would be getting Europa Conference, whatever it's called. That would be exceptional as a Brighton fan. Would I be disappointed if Potter left? Of course I would. I'd be far more disappointed if he left for someone where I didn't feel it was a step up. If he leaves for, I don't know, a top 6 club, say, I'll be disappointed, of course, but it's sort of, you can understand it a bit more. It's a step up in his career, but obviously I would be disappointed because he is a fantastic manager and I think he's really building something at Brighton.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear absolutely, because the guy's a top manager and of course you wouldn't want to lose him, but if you get an offer from a bigger club, then he might. I think though he probably want to take one that's a project though, rather than just take like a 2-3 year stint, say like at Chelsea or something. So yeah, back to the game. Chris, what did you make of it?
I thought it was extremely funny, Tottenham losing. I enjoy it every time Tottenham lose.
Don't we all?
It'll be interesting to see how they react, because that's the first league game they've won. They've lost under Conte. But they've lost to Chelsea 3 times in as many weeks. So I don't know. I think he needs to go and buy somebody, but who that will be, we don't know. And I think with Conte, as Brad said, he doesn't take any bullshit, and I think he will get what he wants. Otherwise, he'll walk. And I think he had that agreement before he took over, because Tottenham needed him more than he needed the Tottenham job. But I went for a Chelsea win, and it was. And, I just had to say, Brad, while you're here, by the way, you got no points in the prediction league this week.
Oh, well. I feel like a Spurs fan then.
Yeah, exactly. But, I think that's about right. I think Chelsea will finish top 4 and Tottenham won't.
Yeah, definitely. Luca, what did you make of it? Hello? Is he still with us? Okay, we'll go to no then. No. What did you make of it? What did you make of it, mate?
Niall?
Sorry, asking me. I thought Chelsea played really well, and I know that Conte doesn't like losing to Chelsea, and Chelsea were on the back of like 3 or 4, 5 draws maybe, and they've just dropped points left, right and centre, Chelsea, but that could give them a kick up the backside that they need, and they've improved, I think, a wee bit.
Definitely. See if you try me again. Luca, are you there?
You're on mute.
Hello? Yeah, he's there.
Big up, man.
Can you... Yeah, the Chelsea game, what did you make of it?
To be honest, guys, I think Chelsea played really, really well. I think Tottenham were just poor. I think the Kane goal should have stood, in my opinion. From I can't remember. I think Jorginho made a mistake or something like that. But other than that, no, I think Chelsea played very well. They smashed Tottenham again for the 4th time this season, and Yeah, I think Tottenham, for me, they've still got a good chance of getting top 4, but it's the game in hands, because Tottenham seem to do well at home against these smaller teams, but it's away from home they expect to have some L's. So there you go. So for me, Chelsea winning that game, it's good 3 points for them.
Okay, so they've got a good chance of getting top 4. Because
Right.
they've got, I think it's 2 games in the hand, and yet we haven't got a good chance of top 4, yet we've got a game in hand.
Yeah, but mate, Tottenham have got easy games in hands, whereas we've still got to play the big teams. With Wolves away, Wolves at home, Tottenham away. We've
still got a game in hand.
Yeah, I know we have, but we're not guaranteed to win those games in hand. What people don't, yeah, but what people need to,
you see how shit Tottenham have been.
Yeah, but what people need to remember, right, and this is what people don't understand, right, is that you're not guaranteed to win those game in hands.
Our game in hand is our North London derby, mate.
Yeah, but we haven't won there since 2014.
Yeah, do you know how shit they are? We could have actually played half our side. We could actually, if we did postpone a game, I still think we could have beaten with our kids' side.
But especially with Liverpool that week, we would have got worse. We would have got piped.
We were going to get piped anyway. I told you that.
We were not going
to. I didn't know why you didn't. I don't know why you were reacting so angrily to it, because I knew exactly what was coming.
Because I'm disappointed.
I was disappointed, but I just knew what's coming.
Because I was disappointed, Stephen.
I'm used to it.
You sound like a parent. I'm not angry.
Mate, I just don't get it. I don't get it how Tottenham are in a top 4 race, and yet we're not.
I don't think they'll get it. I don't think they'll get top 4, but they've got a little chance.
Well, that means we've got.
You have the same chance then. If you're in a better position, how can you?
Not really.
We're better on them on goal difference, for God's sake. How we're better on goal difference, I ain't got a clue. But there you go.
Not really, because it's Arsenal and Arteta will bottle it.
Yeah, but right. But what you're saying is, right, listen to what you're saying. You're saying that you don't think Arsenal will get top 4.
Static. Yeah. I never sang anything.
And you're also saying you don't think Spurs will get top 4. It's the exact same thing. So what you're basically saying is whilst you don't think them clubs will get top 4,
correct.
You can't turn around and deny Arsenal are out of top 4, but say Spurs are still in it. That's where you contradict yourself a little bit.
They've had game in hands before, and they always bottle it. But to me, I'm just it's Conte, innit? He's an elite manager. He wants to do something.
No,
you know what I mean? But I think he's a good manager for them.
But he's not happy at Tottenham.
They've won a Spurs games in hand against us.
Yeah, Tottenham have got Brighton.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I take offence to them being easy games.
To be honest, wherever the Brighton game is, if the Brighton game's at the Amex, I reckon Brighton got a good chance of getting a result at Spurs. But if it's at White Hart Lane,
anyone's got a good chance of getting points out of Spurs, because they are.
What's an easy game this season anyway? Anybody can beat anybody.
Anyone can beat anyone. This is what I'm saying.
Well, we can't because we haven't beaten a big 6 away from home this season.
You're still sat there in the top 5 positions of the league, so clearly you can, mate.
Yeah.
To get into the top 4, you have to strengthen the January transfer window where we have failed.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Don't have to.
And also, we failed to beat United and all these big teams away from home. We have the only big 6 or whatever people like to call it, right? Is Tottenham away. We have to play West Ham away, Chelsea away. We have to beat.
Well, Luca, we got ourselves in this position without spending a penny, without spending in January at the minute.
Yeah, it's about the consistency. The only positive I will say is
we've been the most consistent side out of all the teams in that top 4 race, to be honest.
All you need to do is make sure your results are more consistent than the 15 teams or 16 teams.
We need to get Jimmy Wijnaldum in. We need to get Jimmy Wijnaldum in, right, by Monday. We need to get, but he doesn't want to come because PSG don't want to sell him. He's opening up to a Premier League move. But why would PSG want to freaking sell him now? They might need him as squad depth for the Champions League when that all begins in February. So we need to sign someone like that.
Yeah, but at the moment, what I'm saying is that we've managed to put ourselves before this all January transfer window business all up. We got games in it. The reason we are now in this position with games in hand is because we were so good at the first half of the season.
It's still the same old, same old.
Squad, no, so if we got our squad back, right, surely we'd be the same strength to go and push on for the remainder of the season.
I'm going to finish
Well,
this.
it's still the
today,
same old.
you know.
But Stephen, look, it's still the same old Arsenal because we're not improving anything.
Worker.
It is. Come on, I'm not being toxic. I'm not being negative. I'm not being negative. I'm not being toxic.
We
I'm
weren't
just
even
going
in
by
a
what I
title
think.
race last season. We weren't even in a top 8 race last
we
season.
weren't.
We weren't even in a race for top 6. Come on, man.
Just a minute, right?
As much as I don't like Arteta, there's been an
umpire.
improvement.
I feel like an umpire at a game watching it. I'm just going to turn my head up softly.
At the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you.
Yeah, and at the moment, we've beaten what's in front, beaten the majority of what's in front of us.
Look,
We've been the most consistent side.
Yeah, but I understand, right? Yes, you got to beat what's in front of you. But
So is that enough?
like, to get into the top 4, right? You have to get results against the big teams, no matter what. We have done,
though.
We haven't. We have to beat. No, we haven't, because we didn't beat Chelsea this season. We didn't beat United this season.
Chelsea are in a title race. So
we haven't beaten Man United this season. We haven't beaten Man City this season. We haven't even got. We need to get into the top 4. You've got to go to the big 6 and get at least points.
You don't need to beat in the top 4 people in the top 4.
You do, man.
You need to beat the teams around you.
You do, man.
No, you need to beat the teams around you. That's how you beat them. You beat all the teams below them and the teams around you. That's how you get top 4.
Not to kind of go against the point that Luke is making, because it does seem like logical.
No, because to be honest, the amount of times we win in top 4 under Wenger, and we never beat the teams in the top 6, in the top 4. Right? We never beat them top 4, but we'd always make top 4 because we'd always beat the teams below us and around us.
You've just got to be more consistent than 16 other teams. At the end of the day, you can afford to lose.
Yeah, we still got to play Leicester at home. That ain't going to be an easy game, mate. They could be fighting for top 6. Right?
Yeah, but...
You're right, they'll probably bottle that in the night.
We've still got to play Brighton at home.
Oh, Chloe.
Hold on, yeah. Brighton.
Brighton.
Chloe, that is a quality. I love it.
Mate, Brighton.
Chris can't even answer back to that one.
Brighton is a bogey side to us.
I think you might find it was the 95th minute, actually. But
we've still got to play West Ham away. West Ham away.
Look, all I'm saying is it's not
people
fucking
need
over.
to think.
It's
to me,
not
I think
over.
it is. To me, I think
not
it
over.
is. But
to say it's over with two points and a game in hand when you have got 17 games to play.
I'm telling you what. I'll do you lot a deal, right? If we get top 4 at the end of the season, mate, I will do a dare at the end of the season. I'll come out and confess something at the end of the season. Get down on my knees.
Confess your love for Arteta.
Huh?
Confess your love for Arteta.
You Arteta in. You Arteta in, and you want Andre Silva.
Mate, I'm Arteta.
Getting Arteta in tattoo.
Stephen, I know what you're trying to do.
You said you'd do anything, so that's what I want. That's what I want. If we get top 4, you want you're Arteta in. Right, and you
Stephen, I'm Arteta out. You know my answer to that.
Well, you said you would do anything.
Stephen, I'm Arteta out.
No, you're not. You're Arteta wrong.
Niall, I'm Arteta out.
So you're doing the dare or not?
Not what you said before.
Niall, I'm Arteta out.
So you're not doing the dare?
Niall, I'm Arteta out.
You sure about that?
Niall, I'm Arteta out.
Are you sure about that?
Niall, you're writing it in. You're writing it in.
I'm not, mate. I'm not. I'm just...
You are, mate.
Well, he has to be because he's bit his things going up to the board. Luca. So okay. So what about saying if we make top 4, you confess you need Andre Silva?
Mate, Static doesn't know what he's talking about. He's been deluded because obviously he thinks I rate Andre Silva. No, I don't, mate. So there you go.
No. You admit you love Andre Silva.
No, I don't, Stephen.
Stephen, if we get top 4, that's the bet.
Stop trying to think logic and trying to persuade me that I like Andre Silva. No, I don't.
No, that is logic.
No, mate.
That is logic.
No.
It is logic. It's facts. It's simple facts. It's simple facts. How do you think? I'm sorry, but you cannot sit here and say, "Oh, Aubameyang is better than Andre Silva."
Mate, Mate, Andre Silva's
Come
crap,
on.
and I'm going by my opinion, mate. Stephen,
Wait.
you're deluded, man. Stephen, you're deluded, man.
I'm deluded.
You are.
What? Mate,
Anyway,
how am I
let's get on with the
deluded?
show, yeah? Let's get on with the show.
Yeah. Who's?
I ain't getting hyped, so get lost.
Bloody hell.
I'm deluded. Okay. Moving on. We'll move on.
All right, next one, yeah.
Yeah, move on to the next one. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Arsenal. Right. Another top four side. I'll tell you what. The first half, I was about to fall asleep in the first half.
Mate, you should have
Boring
seen.
like
You should have seen my reaction on the watch along. The way I walked off. You should have seen it.
Mate, you were losing your shit for no reason.
Mate, because I didn't want us to draw against Burnley.
Mate, like, you were getting mad, and I'm just like that, really? Mate, like, you need to wake up to the fact this is Arsenal. This is what's going to happen every time.
I do know that.
Like, well, why do you get angry about it? I don't get angry
because
about it
because I care about it, and that's it.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't let it, like,
people being angry. Do you go and ask them lot as well why they're angry as well?
Well, yeah, but I don't give it to the point until I don't care about this. Like, I don't make it ruin my life or ruin my day.
Reese, I'm not Arteta in, mate. You're Ragnick in, mate.
Anyway, back to it. Chris, what did you make of the Arsenal Burnley game? Obviously, you probably didn't watch it because it was boring as hell.
I tried to watch it, but yeah, it was just boring, and I gave up. No joke.
Try to do a watch along to it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, you should have beaten Burnley. A point was no good for either of you, but Burnley probably it was more use to them than it was to you. If you want to finish top six, let's say, these are games you need to be killing off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chloe, what did you make of it, or did you? I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't watch the game.
I didn't watch it. I was at the Brighton game,
Yeah,
so
good.
I didn't watch it.
So you didn't want to watch it. Niall.
I didn't watch it. Even I was watching the Liverpool and Crystal Palace game, but
Do you know what I'll do? I think we'll just skip that. I think we'll just move on, because that was
nothing to talk about.
Shit. Yeah.
I thought Arteta had a good game.
Yeah, fuck off. Liverpool, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool.
I thought Lacazette was your best player, Stephen.
Mate, he got a 0 in my freaking ratings.
I know. I heard.
I could have put that in my. I could have knocked it off my head and it would have gone in. Yeah, Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Well, as much as Crystal Palace tried to fight in this game, they just outgunned by Liverpool, to be honest. Who are now catching? Looks like they're catching Man City, because I think Man City did draw their game, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
1-1 with Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe, do you think Liverpool can still mount a title challenge to Man City, or do you still think it's Man City's to lose now?
Yeah, I mean, I do think City will win it. It would be nice to see a bit of a, even if they do end up winning it, would be nice to see a bit of a challenge. I don't know what the word is. But yeah, I think it's probably City's, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chris, what did you make of it? And do you feel the same?
Controversial penalty at the end, but then they'd won it anyway. I think it is Man City's to lose. I agree with Chloe. I can't see them dropping enough points. Well, they did drop it against Southampton, so all credit to Southampton for that. But yeah, it's Man City's to lose, whatever Liverpool do, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Good song, that Static.
I was going to ask Luca, but he's apparently paid in the chat. He's gone. Niall, what did you make of it?
I thought Liverpool played really well, but I think supposedly I heard last night in a podcast they got a penalty. Apparently, it wasn't a penalty due to that VAR carry on. You've got it in tennis where you crack it as you start doing. What's the other one? Can't remember what other sport has a TV screen, but I just don't think it's a penalty. It's just a total farce, isn't it? Should take you a bit too certain to make a concussion, hang it.
Absolutely. Brad, what was your take on it?
I think we basically just saw, a really interesting game. I mean, decisions taken out of it. I don't think it affects anything in terms of Liverpool's title charge, because I don't know how people can. I mean, it just shows how much in control Man City have been over the last couple of seasons of this league, when everybody's bursting at the seams to watch a team that's won 12 and drawn 1 in their last 13 games. They ain't bottoming the league. If they do that, Pep Guardiola might as well resign. He might as well retire from football, because if he does that now, they're doing exactly the same as what they did last season. I think people are so desperate for a bit of competition for a title race that they're hoping it happens. It ain't going to happen. It's a small blip for Man City, and they'll probably go on another 12-game winning streak, let's face it.
Yeah.
It was encouraging if you're... I mean, it's weird, isn't it? They got so comfortable and accustomed to Roy Hodgson, had Palace fans, that it's probably nice to see a bit more of free-flowing football.
They've done, what Petroviev has done there is incredible.
I don't think this result affects either side. I don't think it changes their mentor Liverpool in suddenly thinking they're in a title race, and I don't think it changed. I don't think Palace fans are sat there fearing a capitulation in their season like they normally would after a result like this. So it's a result that's done no harm, and really, in terms of all it's done is just secure Liverpool second place. In my opinion, that's literally all it's done. It's just put another nail in them getting second behind Man City.
Yeah, Man City are way too strong. They'll win the league again. City already won the league. It's over. Liverpool would need to win every game other game left, and City to lose 2 games and drew 1. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where Luca went. I don't know where. Maybe he's gone to look up Andre Silva again. He even turned it on to judge one game, and I'm like, you're judging one game, and he did score in that game. So and he said, "Well, I just proved you wrong." No, that's one game. You know what I mean? Anyway, we moved to big up Reese. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. Listening to acts of delusion that should be acknowledged by sentence to prison.
Wow.
Oh, fuck. Did I hear that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Also, big up Chris. Keep that beard, don't shave it. And obviously Brighton on the left-hand side. Hope you're all right. I'm not all that bad.
Right. So, moving on. Southampton, Man City. Finished 1-1 in the end. It's quite surprising. I think sort of Southampton caught them off guard at the start of the game, and obviously then tried to sort of shut it out. And Man City.
To me, this is the game I think that sort of kind of sums the season up. Like I said before, anybody can beat anybody or get something on the day. No way would you have thought Southampton would have got a point from that.
No.
You think Man City's here, stick 6 past us one week, can't get anything past Southampton the next. So it's just that this to me just sums the whole season up for the whole.
I was extremely close. If you can remember, Brad, on Nippon Stream, I said Southampton would beat Man City.
Yeah, actually, you were one of them that really stuck your neck out on the line and said this could be a win for the Saints, to be fair. So, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
you were close, very close, mate.
Arsenal get.
They couldn't afford his shirt, mate.
Yeah, mate, we ain't getting that. 10 likes, hit the like button. Yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, hit it already, mate. We've had some good, trust me, the guests have been great today, and the show's been great. So I really do appreciate every one of you coming on and spending time.
Great, it's been carnage.
Come on. Yeah, I know it's been carnage.
Just
I know
remember
it's
to
been
send that
carnage.
£50
I know you
to my
probably had to
PayPal.
read a book or fall asleep at times, but I do
We
really
need more
appreciate you coming on.
Arteta talk.
Yeah, basically. But look, at least I do appreciate any of you coming on and helping out. It really means a lot.
All right, mate. No worries.
So, Brad, are you gonna lose another quiz this week? Because I hear you're up against Niall.
Oh yeah, I'm well up for losing a quiz, mate. I'm like the losing quiz champion, mate. I can't wait for a match against Luca when it's a tie.
You ain't tried, mate. Luke, Brad, you ain't tried me yet. Well, I do know Jon Jensen only scored 1 goal, but so maybe I should give it a shot.
I think Niall will beat you. I think Niall will beat you. All due respect.
Yeah,
don't know how very much.
To be honest, I'm not. I don't sit here as saying I'm the world's knowledgeable person on football, but I try to know at least the ins and outs of my club. At least I think it's the minimum you should do.
I mean, to be fair, the quiz we're doing later is more general knowledge, isn't it? So there's always a good chance Niall can beat me on general.
No, Brad, we've changed it.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
I've got even less hope now. I can't guess my way to general knowledge. Great.
It's football questions. It's football questions.
Well played, Niall. Great win, mate. Well done on the victory.
The best way to win is just to go with a very easy but useful question that seems to improve a man's knowledge. Brad, correct me because I don't know the answer.
I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you.
Which former Man City player has a record for most offsides in the Premier League? I've completely forgotten, and I really need the information.
Oh, do you, mate? Well, go to www.stopaskinthefuckingquestion.com and that'll find out.
I'm keeping that on my phone for the
future. Stop trying to ask questions now, man. This ain't the time.
It's too easy.
This ain't the time.
It's Arsenal's favourite striker, Emmanuel Adebayor.
Oh, is it really? Okay, good for him. Great. I'll give him a medal.
Reece, you've honestly wound up 2 people with 1 comment there.
Yeah, mate.
Tell you what, Reece, are you going to take on the winner then?
Am I going to take on who?
Are you going to take on the winner from tonight?
Sure.
If you want me to.
Right.
I can even beat them half asleep if you want.
Oh, that's a challenge enough, isn't it?
Look, anyway, like I was saying, I try to know about at least my club, and hopefully just a bit more in general. But I seem to have a pretty good grasp on what Man United is doing right now. To be honest,
I
have to admit. So yeah, I try and look at it on the inside rather than the outside. So, but yeah, moving on to Brentford Wolves. I think Brentford could be a bit unlucky in a sense. Obviously having more shots, but then say having more shots, but then Wolves had more on target. So Wolves I did expect Wolves to win this game, to be honest, and Wolves have been quality and sort of outside chance of getting top 4, an outside chance because they have a game in hand the same as we do. And if they win that, they'd be 37 points and right behind Man United. So, yeah. Reece, what did you make of it?
To be honest, I thought it was a very even game. There were some chances that Brentford had where they should have scored. I thought, once again, Ivan Toney, as per usual, he's dangerous. But it seems to be the inconsistency of if he doesn't, in certain games when he goes missing, Brentford follows the team. And then when he eventually kicks on, you see the rise in their performances. Wolves were just very solid as per usual. They know what they're doing. I think Bruno Lage deserves a bit of credit for what he's done. The only concern I've got for Wolves, which to be fair, I don't really care because they're blows in the league anyway, but for Wolves fans, I think the only problem for them is like making sure they keep their main players fit. Because I think if they were to lose the likes of Neves, if they were to lose Moutinho, and if to injury, even if they were to lose Jose Sa to form, they could be in serious trouble. So I think for them, it's down to that. Brentford need to be careful because they could get sucked in the relegation battle. But I don't think they will. But overall, I think despite being an even game, better team won in Wolves, and rightfully so, to be fair.
Absolutely. I'm just going to look up quickly before I get someone else going to try to get. There's 2 polls are set up for this, by the way, and they're on the community tab, guys. So if you haven't gone to these polls and cast your vote, please do now. They are on the community tab page, and I'll just quickly share it right now. So the 2 of them are simple. Simple one, which is who are favourites for top 4 now, or who are now favourites for top 4 this season. And despite obviously the doom and gloom of Arsenal, 50% have said Arsenal, 50% have said Man United. So not one.
We'll still get it, mate.
Yeah,
I still think we'll get it by the end.
Well, you said you're thinking you probably get 3rd.
I think we could. Like I look at Chelsea's inconsistency, and I think Chelsea are still more. I still think Chelsea are better than us as an overall team. I'm not going to deny that, but recently they've been so inconsistent with performances, and United have actually started to gel. And the other thing as well is I've said it already, like today as well, is since the manager's come in, only Man City have picked up more points than us.
Yeah, but then that's a good achievement, I've got to admit. But you also see with Chelsea as well. But it brings me into this other poll that I put up, which is Chelsea's inconsistencies. Will it drag them into the top 4 fight, leaving a fight for 3rd or 4th, or rather just 4th? And apparently 67% out of 6 votes say yes, and 33% say no. So, like, yeah, interesting. So you haven't done that already? Go and like it. Go and like the obviously the page as well on the community tab, because that does help it reach out a little bit further for the channel. So please do that. And obviously, anytime you reach out more of the channel, you're also reaching out more for the charity as well. So please do that. And plus, don't also forget as well the new F1 channel you can find on the @SFeatleyF1. You can find the link for that. Go and subscribe right now. I'm actually going to put the link in it back in there now, because otherwise I forget. I've got to do that at some point. Where is it? Give me 2 seconds. I've just got to find it. But there it is. There it is. There it is. Let's go copy that. Yeah, so please, if you're an F1 fan, or you want to support the charity even further, because it will support the charity as well, but not as much. Like, if we do get it monetized, half the money, not all of the money, will go to Children's Disease Foundation. So that way, just like this, I get a little half for myself for this one. So, but yeah, if you can go to SFeatleyF1 channel via that link, go and subscribe to that. It's going to be a sick year for Formula 1. It's going to be really enjoyable. You're going to see a lot of overtaking and that. So to get all the knowledge and best understanding for it, go and subscribe right now. And the first show is on Friday, I believe it is. First show on there is on Friday evening at 6 p.m. with DNF1 podcast. So make sure you do that right now. Anyway, back to the football, right? And I will come to Norwich City versus Watford. Norwich again, another win. Jesus Christ. My mate Lewis is going to be doing cartwheels in a minute. Big up my mate Lewis. He sometimes comes in the chat, but his daughter's like my goddaughter, to be honest. I love her to bits. But yeah, obviously, Norwich with a 3-0 win. Chris, what did you make of this? This was kind of a shock to me. I thought Watford.
You know, it's obviously it's the job that the game that got Ranieri the sack. I mean, I've got to be totally honest with you. I'm going to put my hands up and say I'm really looking forward to
sacked. So? Yeah, Roy Hodgson replaced him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That poor man. I mean, I wonder how many minutes it took to drag Roy Hodgson kicking and screaming out of his old folks' home to take that job back up.
I know. Still, it's another manager that Man United have got to tick off the list that they can't go for, isn't it?
He would never get the job anyway. You know full well.
No, I mean, I really hope Watford go down. I mean, they were in 12th at the start of the season, so they sacked the manager when you're in 12th place. You bring Ranieri in, and I know they've got Italian owners, and I know it's the way the Italians run football is they keep a manager no matter how good he is for a couple of seasons, get another one in. That's the way it works in Italy. But for God's sake, you're bringing in, you're looking at that and you're thinking like, who can we get in? We've just sacked a manager in 12th. Who's going to keep us up? Who's going to be good if we're getting a relegation battle?
I mean,
that guy that managed Fulham last season that took them down. I mean, what the hell were Watford thinking? I love Ranieri to bits, of course I do.
Yeah.
But he isn't a relegation battling manager.
No.
And how long do we get? I mean, Roy Hodgson, he's probably 75? Having to wheel him in his bath chair. I
think he's older than that.
These managers keep coming on and on, and football moves on. Football.
I feel sorry for the guy who got him. I feel sorry for the guy that got him 12th and into the league in the first place. You get him 12th in the league. What more do you want him to do? Challenge for top 4?
Well, didn't they also sack a manager after getting promoted?
Yeah,
maybe not this time.
But can I just make a point? Is it like, did they expect to do what Leicester did and just all of a sudden start challenging for the league?
Yeah,
and they don't work like that, mate.
No.
Like, that,
I mean,
does anyone not? I mean,
Watford.
do you know what I hate about most? The one thing I do hate about Leicester winning the title, and I did like you winning the title, and I'm not going to take it against you. But the one thing I hate about it is that it gave Kroenke the idea that's the way you win a title. Well, no, I'm sorry. As much as it was well deserved, it was something that was a fairy tale. It wasn't
people
supposed
look
to happen.
at Leicester, Stephen. People look at Leicester and they'll say
Ranieri won to win a title.
Yeah, Ranieri won us that title. Yes, he did, but on the back of what Pearson had put in place. He'd taken over a team that had just done the greatest escape ever. Everything was on the up. Everybody was really confident, and he tweaked it about a bit. And I'm not saying Pearson would have won it had he stopped there, but Watford give Pearson the job a couple of seasons ago. He gets them out the bottom 3 for about the first or second time in the season, and they sack him with a couple of games to go.
Yeah, the one discrepancy I have with that I didn't know until that, and we know this infamously as Leicester fans, Chris. Nigel Pearson is very controversial, to say the least, and apparently, and I don't know what level it was on, but apparently he had a very physical altercation with an actual player at Watford. And I'm not saying I'm heard there was a headbutt or a fist fight or something, and
Jesus Christ, that blows his Fergie's hairdryer treatment out of the water, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he was. I mean, the controversy was more around his son and his actions, and we won't bring that back up. It's just disgusting. It shouldn't have happened. But I there's some points you're going to see in them style managers that you kind of go, yeah, that's fair. He stood by his family when he did it at Leicester. But then you kind of look at other instances and realise it was a right decision. That's probably the only sacking that, if that's true, I could say Watford owners actually made, which was right in that sense.
I'll ask you lot now. I'll ask you lot now then. Given what's happened recently, and with the way the situation looks in the table, which is, I'm sorry to bring that down, which is looking at the table right now. So we've got Burnley on 12 points. Watford on 14 points, Newcastle on 15 points. Is really quite close between the bottom 4. 16 points for Norwich, and don't forget Burnley got tons of games to play. I've got about, look at that, 4 games on Norwich to play. Everton with 19 points.
But can anybody see Burnley? We all know it's the old saying, we still don't have the points on the board. Can anybody here see Burnley winning those 4 games in hand?
I wouldn't put your money on that.
No, exactly.
They don't have to win 4 of them. They're only what?
Yeah.
4 points off 17th.
But that's only if the other
They
ones
win
lose
one
every
and they
single
draw
game.
one. They're on level terms with Norwich.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if they can manage as many points as they've got games in hand, it's still, you know. And again, you're talking
we've got to presume that
objectively,
Norwich might get a few more points, and Newcastle might get a few
I mean,
more
you're
points
also
as well. You know?
you're also making that catch up without them playing any more games and still staying 4 ahead. I totally agree.
Okay, so
but people are saying that don't sleep on the likes of Wolves and Brighton for the Europa League spots. Can we also not sleep on the fact that Everton are the biggest free falling team going right now?
Yeah,
I would definitely. If I was an Everton fan, I would be majorly concerned that somebody like a Newcastle is going to drag us into that relegation battle. I would not be surprised if, come the end of the season, Everton are fighting it on the last game.
Big
really
up, Gracie May. I hope you're doing well. Big up, Gracie. I hope obviously everything's good with you. If you don't know, Gracie May has her own channel. Make sure you look her up on YouTube and also on Twitter, and make sure you go and subscribe right now. Static, if you could find the link for me, that'd be really, really helpful. If you can. We'll have Gracie coming on the show. I believe it's on Sunday at 2 p.m. I believe I couldn't do Saturday because I might be going out with a friend of mine. But make sure you go and check her out. Big up. But
I mean, because just look at that. I've just looked at the form. They're on the worst form out of the 5 of them.
Yeah.
Well, join with Watford.
Join with Watford. But I think, but looking at it now, and after what we said about Watford, who do you think out of the 3 clubs, out of all these clubs, who do you think's going down? Just give me 3, and I'll go with Reese. Doesn't have to be in any order.
Let's see. Stripper FC, Horny Hornets, and Boring Burnley. So Newcastle survive.
Oh, it's Newcastle. Okay.
I was going to say, if no one knows what he means by Stripper FC, it's Norwich.
Yeah, okay. Chris.
Burnley are dead and gone. I might as well get ready to find out whether they're playing next season. I hope Watford go down because of the way they treat their managers. And I would love, Keegan, I'd love it if Everton went down, because I love to see the big clubs struggle and the big clubs go down. And if Norwich do stay up, you've got to consider Dean Smith for manager of the season.
I'll tell you what, if Everton goes down, that is going to be a massive shock. A massive shock.
I will be completely shocked because they're one club I don't want to go down.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it.
I'd love them to go. I'd love them.
It was kind of like when Aston Villa went down originally. It was like, hang on, they've been in the league for years. Come on.
If Leeds go down, I probably won't see them in the Premier League till I hit 40.
Yeah, Brad.
I mean, looking at the table right now, I think, without knowing what Burnley do with their games in hand, with not knowing whether Newcastle's 1 win is going to be the start of their buyout survival mode or if it's just a blip on their form book, I would have to say, going on current form and the way things are going for them, I would say Watford are down. I think that's killed them. I think you get to any point in that second half of the season, whether at the start or near the end, and you have a 6-pointer up for grabs, and not only do you get beat badly at home,
make sure you go and subscribe to Grace May's channel. It's right there. There's the link. Go and do it right now.
Yeah, no worries, mate. That's fine.
Thanks, Static.
Unless something dramatic happens with Burnley's 4 games in hand, right now I can't look past Burnley going down. So I've got Watford, Burnley, and I'm sorry, but Everton. I have to look at this based on how clubs are doing right now. Newcastle picked up a much needed win. Norwich have got back-to-back wins. Everton can't buy a win. I just see Everton being. Do you remember Newcastle when they had like the Owens and Vidukas and that, and everybody was going, "Nah, Newcastle. I know they're there, but they're not they're too good to go down, and then lo and behold, they went down. But Everton are kind of suffering from what they used to do in the 90s. Remember when Walter Smith just about kept them up every year? Well, this could be the year that they don't do that and they fall through the trap door. So I'd honestly, I don't advocate gambling at all,
though, Brad,
but I would put money on Everton to go down.
I agree with those three. But what you got to remember, Brad, is Burnley and Everton have both got to play us. So that's probably 3 points for them.
Yeah, in the 95th minute, of course. You know that. It's cliche, but still.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's easy going to be 3 points for you against Leicester. It's easy, isn't it?
It's just
they took 3 points off Arsenal quite comfortably, so they can take it off anybody else.
Well, like I say, Burnley, when they caught up, it might be a whole different bottom three. Well, it might not be a completely bottom three, but we might suddenly be sat here going, "Bit me, it's not Burnley." But
right. Oh well, I'll go to Chloe then, and I'll bring the table back up for you. Out of these clubs, who do you think's going down? If you were going to call it now, that is.
I think I'd say the current bottom three, actually, looking at that.
Okay. I can understand
Newcastle might manage to scrape together a few results and escape, which would be disappointing, but yeah. I mean, it would be funny to see Everton go down as well, just because, you know, they're a big club. But
they are looking at still more transfers coming in with
didn't they just have one stolen from under their nose by Juventus?
Yeah, I think they've got more planned though. And there's a back page stream coming out this week I'm doing, which has got more news about Newcastle signing players, and I mean definite signing. So yeah. So
the only news about Newcastle is relevant. Sunderland are still bigger than them.
Well, yeah. Newcastle prepared to pay Lingard loan fee. Diego Carlos talks are stalling at the minute, apparently.
But doesn't that just tell them the situation they're in when Lingard, they could have had him for 12 million, and he has actually turned around and said, I want to see my options in the summer. I'd rather it be a loan move. That tells you a lot. For a man who wants to leave Manchester United but doesn't quite want to play Championship football potentially, he's actually got, no, I don't want to move there permanently. Send me there on loan and then I'll do something in the summer. Well, you can't buy your way out of them, mate. Hopefully they can't.
I think Burnley will go. I think Watford will go. And I think, as much as I don't want them to get Everton, but because Newcastle are picking up points and they needed to win that game against Leeds at the weekend there, and I think Norwich are getting a bit better. I think they'll do it as well. So Burnley, Watford and Everton, I think will go down because Everton are in free fall.
Wow. And speaking of Everton, like, I'm going to zoom out of that because that is the last game we've got. So I'm just going to quickly go through the last game. They lost 1-0 against Aston Villa.
May I just say, I was the one, and Chris will vouch for this, I was the one that said that Villa will ride the storm and it won't just be a blip in Gerrard being a new manager-esque at Villa.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Predictions when the news lot were saying that Everton wouldn't change.
Any thoughts on this game, guys?
It just proved the state of both clubs, didn't it? It proved that Villa are on good form and are doing well with the players they've brought in and look a settled squad, and Everton are an absolute mess. In a game that wasn't really a classic and it was a bit scrappy, that's the sort of game that when a interim manager comes in, they nick it, and then all of a sudden the whole entire of Everton would have felt lifted, and they still couldn't do it. This was the perfect game, wasn't it? You hit a high flying club. I remember, Chris, you remember when, ironically, when Ranieri was sacked, we played Liverpool. We played Liverpool at home after losing to Sevilla in the Champions League first leg, and we were kind of dreading it, but Ranieri was sacked. Craig Shakespeare was given the job, and we slapped Liverpool silly 3-0 or 3-1, whatever the final result was. And this was the game where you expect to go, hey, I fly Everton at home, let's have them, let's really get into them, especially with the whole Digne thing, which I don't get. I think that's Neanderthalic, shouldn't be allowed in football, ban them for life. I don't get why a player that was frozen out, is it his fault that he was sold? Of course it's not. Anyway, I thought this was a game, and kind of like I feel that the destruction's done to Watford's season. I think this is just another sucker punch to Everton.
Yeah. Obviously, the Everton fans, we don't condone what they've like throwing objects to players at any point.
I mean, at least Moise Keane wasn't there to get subbed on and off after 2 seconds.
True.
There you go. So, I mean, those are the games overall. We'll have a quick look at the table quickly.
I'll try and find Arsenal, but I might need binoculars.
Yeah, I ain't that far behind you. Just shush.
I like how you said there.
You won't be saying that.
The best thing about that, right, is you literally just made my words even better because you said we're still far behind.
No, I said we ain't that
still
far behind.
You're still behind me. You're still behind me.
Yeah. If we win that game now, we're gonna be behind, are we? So there we are. Let's go.
Yeah, but
let's go.
Points on the board over games in hand, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you heard these like Christine and I saying.
Look, I'm not being. Look, and people say to me, I'm the negative one. Like, I'm not being the negative one and still saying top 4. There's still a possibility. Like, everyone else is having a meltdown. Like,
well, to be fair, you could still get top 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so
not if Luca was in charge.
Anyway,
and that's come from someone who hates your club and guts.
Yeah, but anyway, the table reads: Man City with 57 points after 23 games. Liverpool the game in hand with 48 points. Let's make that 51, so it'd be about 6 points behind. Chelsea 47 points, but have played the most games out of the lot. Two games in hand on Man United. So if Man United win that game, they're 2 games in hand on them. They go 44 points. So we win our 3 games in hand on them. We would go 39, 42, 45 points.
45.
So, yeah, like it could actually end up in a fight for 3rd and 4th, the way we're going. West Ham are probably the biggest losers in that because they've only got 1 game and they only play 40 points, so they'd be 5 points behind the rest of us. So, and then to Tottenham, well, I don't give a fuck about Tottenham, so let's just leave them. Leicester, 10th now, with only 1 or 2 games in hand on the teams around them. And obviously we've just seen the situation at the bottom as well. So yeah, like I said, but I don't feel that we'll get top 4. I'm not saying that we will. I don't think we will. But all I'm saying is with 17 games to go, you can't write it off yet. So because it's just like writing it off is just an opinion, it's not a fact. So but yeah.
To be fair, Arsenal getting top 4 would probably be a bigger miracle than Luka not being deluded. But yeah,
I just don't get it. Like, you're rating a guy who hasn't scored in 2 years over a guy.
It's just some of the statements like.
And then they're just like, well, you're losing your pass. So they said, hang on, you want Vajovic, who's 21, 22. Well, his previous record in his past has done nothing.
He's got to Juventus anyway.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? I don't get it. I just don't get it. How can you compare Aubameyang to Andre Silva? I'd rather
the second he started talking about Renato Sanchez before we went live, I was like, Reece has got to get on this if he's here. Because God, mate, that guy backpedals quicker than a cyclist.
Mate,
I just appreciate the fact that.
So you wanted to see it through the fan cam. Like, if you watch the fan cam, he comes out and says it, and I'm like,
I just appreciate the fact that I just appreciate the fact that as you were going live, you were all talking. Brad was messaging me saying, "Luka just said he wants Renato Sanchez." So Brad literally messaged me anyway. So
I did, mate. I made sure you was like, "Get on here now." He's just said he wants Renato Sanchez. I remember that.
Do you know what? Like, I think what we'll do is we'll arrange a stream, Reece versus Luka. How about that one?
The funny thing is, right, and I can say this with utmost confidence, and Chris is going to laugh. I could honestly tell Luka to probably support the Tories, right? Even if the Tories were to assassinate somebody that he liked, and he would probably become a Tory. Like, I'm not even joking.
Reece,
probably
you
a
do
Leicester
know the
manager. Like,
reason.
no offense.
You
but-
do know
Honestly,
the
it's
reason.
like the third time he's argued with Reece about a player, and then in a week later, it's like 1 week later he changes his mind and supports him.
Brad, you do remember in
It's
December when
almost
it first
like
came
I'm
out?
inevitable.
No, remember when it first came out about Gini Ronaldo? Like,
Yeah.
he didn't want him at all, and then
Now he
he
wants
was on
him.
Rich's Sports, giving it waxing lyrical, and I was going to Richard, please do me a favour, get me on so I can actually explain the actual English of this, please. Like, this because you need someone with a realistic opinion on it, like. And he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have it. About 2 weeks later, he was like, "Yeah, I'll take a Gene one out on loan." I'm like, "What?"
To be fair, there was realistic, and then I turned up.
Yeah, but then like you came on stream, then you lot came on stream, you lot, and on Rich's channel, they couldn't believe what I was saying. Is yeah, he wants Jim Ronaldo now. No, you're joking. No, nope, no.
See,
Said, how did you
funny
change
thing
his
is,
mind? I went no, because of it. He said, how did you change his mind? Is when I just moaned at him for 5,000 times. But
the highlight is I could probably tell him, right, like he would probably not think. He could think Neil Mopey. Sorry about this, Chloe, but I have to use him as an example. He could honestly think Neil Mopey, right, is the shittest striker in Premier League history, and then I could tell him, by the way, he's actually probably going to do more against Arsenal than anybody in the entire league. And then a week later, he'll probably go, "I want Neil Mopey as my striker." Like he probably would. He probably thinks he would probably say Pulisic is a good winger like that. And he probably wouldn't even rate Pulisic. And then I'd say, well, if you keep him fit,
I like.
Because it's so easy. I can literally, say to him, keep him fit and keep him fit and firing, and then he'll go, actually, I quite like the opportunity of a fit and firing Pulisic on the wings. Like that's just how easy it is.
Sorry,
gullible isn't the answer for it.
I mean, sometimes I do feel like sometimes when he speaks, all I hear is the Pinocchio song. I've got no strings to hold me down. It's just like, get your own control. You don't need the puppeteers controlling you, Luca. Just stick to your opinion. Yeah, I mean, at least have a true statement and stand by it. Otherwise, I'm going to start calling him Jurgen Flip Flop.
He's like Arsenal in a title race, mate. Non-existent.
I'll put the reason why he wants Renato Sanchez in the private chat.
Please tell me something.
Honestly, he didn't want him beforehand, and then all of a sudden he wants him.
Right, that makes sense now. No, it's not my fault. It's something else.
Oh, right, okay.
It's always
that's all it takes to get his opinion swayed, is it? I see how he operates. Let's see.
So do we just? So if we get Brad to sign up like a Brighton player, do we just need to get Chloe to tell him that he's a good player?
Luca, you've got to come back.
Sway the influence.
Luca, you've got to come back on. I'll literally do 10 more minutes so you come
Chris,
back on.
get your book ready. Get your book ready.
Right, let's get the popcorn. Let's get the sweets. Let's get the popcorn. We'll take a chill pill and let Reece and Luca go at it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is.
I'm not going to need long.
We could all leave the conversation and just leave these two for the next like 7 hours, and it'll just still just breaking the views,
I won't take him.
I wouldn't even break a sweat.
You'd manage to do it over your team talk to your FIFA team, wouldn't you, Reece?
Aye. I would. I'm saying this in the credits. I say this in the sense of credit. I would rather go back and forth with Chris over who has the better patter than trying to fix Luca's delusion. Because at least at least between me and Chris with patter, you're gonna get a proper sparring match. It's back and forth. England versus Scotland, proper patter. Although you can easily just mention 66 and I have to hang myself, but. there's still some pattern involved.
By the way, the 7 p.m. stream will be at 8 p.m.
Why Belgium are better than Italy, apparently, according to Luca.
Yeah, so the 7 p.m. stream will be at 8 p.m. to this evening. Special guest Jez Collins, who's a regular on Lee Gunner's channel, is coming on for the show, so make sure you are tuning into that, right? Good old-fashioned Arsenal fan. That's what we love to see. Yeah, and on other shows, what we've got coming up for other shows today, or this week, there's a really important show that I'm doing tomorrow. Now, I didn't want to do a show on this subject because it really wasn't my place to say, but I'm doing it for an awareness sort of thing. And the thing is I'm doing a awareness for domestic abuse, and I think people will get why I'm like the reason or the story that was announced last week of why I'm now doing it. And by the way, that story, if it ever is going to get mentioned in the show tomorrow, it's going to get mentioned very, very briefly, and then we're going to move straight on to the bigger subject and the wider subject of domestic abuse, because it is a big problem. So
my only advice is, when it comes to this, is because you're not in the, like, because you're not in like this, like the civil fields, like social work and all that, and just be mindful about what you say, because what you can say can have a very lasting effect. I've already had a go at Niall, I've already had a go at Brad and a few others, because obviously it's about conversation, and I know what you're talking about. Whatever you do say, just be mindful. Whatever you do say, trigger words will have a lasting effect. So if you are going to be brief, be very quick. You're probably better not naming names either, because if you name names, that actually makes it worse. Just say there was an incident, it reflects to this, and this is about awareness. If you go deep dive into it, you could put yourself at serious detriment. So that's probably my best advice, is just be very careful, because some people haven't already, and they could end up losing a lot for it. So just be very careful.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the main thing we want is to try and just raise awareness of the issue, and also give some advice to any charities. And there's charities that there's going to be links in the website, in the description below, to charities and helplines they can call. So
yeah, that's a good way.
That's the really main thing about it. So that's why we wanted to be brief on, like,
yeah, that's a good thing.
Plus, also, if we were to say anything, it was to say, like, I hope the victims are okay, and if and everyone, with all the incident are okay, because it's not nice.
Because you know what social media is like. We all use social media, and for example, for examples is, Chloe can make a very articulate football point, but then somebody will bring it up, somebody will just revert it back to sexism. We could make a very articulate point, but then they could use something, for example, like an argument we've had with somebody, and then they'll bring up saying, well, you're only making your point across because you're very bullish and argumentative. So there's that sort of impact. So you just be mindful.
I've got a channel that tries to call me out every time saying I'm a racist.
Yeah,
I've never said
like I said,
racist in my life.
There's always going to be, unfortunately, with everybody in society, there's always going to be mitigating factors. So just be careful. We've all been there, lived all that shit, but you're going into uncharted waters with this particular topic, and you never know what really you can say. You could say something in complete accurate context, but then
someone could
5-10 minutes later, you could possibly hear something like somebody's went and hurt themselves.
And the sad thing is, there will be people out there, and they're out there in their dingy little caves, but they will wait for touchy subjects like this, and they will wait to take what you say out of context as well.
Yeah,
that's
why I don't deep dive.
But this is why I didn't do it last week until I got the fulls, until it was more like, do I do it or do I don't? And originally I didn't want to do it, but I thought the one thing about this channel is that we do raise awareness of not just liver disease but loads of other causes, and that's the main thing I wanted to do, which is try and raise awareness of domestic abuse and give anyone that is suffering a voice. So that's the main sort of drive behind the stream.
Doing it smartly definitely helps. Do it in a smart way.
Yeah. So that's the main reason we're trying to do it. So but other than that, it's just back pages stream, I believe, is tomorrow as well. So that'll be fun. more apparently relegation battle transfers actually. So that'll be fun to talk about. Yeah, we're gonna end it there. So it's been about an hour and a half. It's not like it's been 4 hours.
Trying to figure out what Luca's laughing at. Is he laughing at that Arsenal are below Man United? Because I'm laughing at that too.
Luca, he's timed you out because you're spamming.
He timed him out because he was saying Arteta out.
Yeah.
Now and then started tweet. We all know you're Arteta and stop spamming.
It's never no reason.
If you're gonna spam, you're gonna get timed out, and if you keep on doing it, you're gonna get blocked. Simple as that.
May block.
Like, I'm not joking around. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Chloe, I'll start with you. Where can they find you?
I'm just British Tea Hater on Twitter and Instagram.
British Tea Hater? How can you hate British tea?
No, she loves it.
He's disgusting.
Can't start the day without it. Brad, where can they find you, mate?
Oh, they can find me just trying to desperately get my face around everywhere on channels, but realistically, they can find where I go live at Full-Time Focus. Obviously, traditionally, with this man up above me, I'm doing work with Leicester Till I Die. I'm on there in about, just over an hour's time, actually, with the guy at the far left of me. I can't point because I keep getting the camera points in the opposite direction. Taking Niall on. But yeah, if you just follow me on there, I'll always share the content of where I'm at and where I'm on. Just follow me there on Twitter because, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'll move to your employer, Chris.
Hey, no, slave owner doesn't pay me enough here. It doesn't pay me yet. I'm still a slave trade owner here.
He pays you in beard advice. Oh wait,
what do they call it? Not minimum hours. What do they call it when you
zero
working hours?
Not zero
minimum
hours.
Working
zero
hours.
working hours. That's it. You get zero working hours.
Yeah, Chris, where can they find you, man?
At, as it says there, at Leicester TID on Twitter and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. 7 o'clock tonight, as Brad said. Brad is taking on Niall in the Big Fat Football Quiz 2. Four topics. Who are you? Peep Show, Snog, Marry, Avoid, and 69.
Snog, Marry, Avoid. Brad loses every time, mate.
Well,
that's got them thinking now, isn't it?
I'm gonna leave that where it is. But Chris, like I said with the Big Fat Quiz, I decided to do it the other day, so I was not feeling well that day at all.
That sounds well good, like.
But Reese, where can they find you?
You can find me at Space Mountain. It's still working strong. I'm up there with Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Andre Silva's
just
next
kidding.
lover.
Well, what can I say? He pays the bills. I'm only kidding. You can find me at Devil's Rising on Twitter. You can also find me tonight, funnily enough, in a quiz against Knees rematch on Rich Sports channel at 9:30. You can also find me on my Twitch tonight as well at 7. Reese_Lightning 1997. Subscribe to these bastards. She actually loves tea, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. Niall, where can they find you?
I've got one for Pingly soon. Don't worry. One for Satic. On you go, Niall.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere you want. You can find me on Twitter at NiallKane91, Instagram Niall_King, and on Facebook at NiallKane.
Wicked. So yeah, that's the panel. Go find them. Go like and subscribe. Go subscribe to and follow them on Twitter and Facebook and anywhere on any of their social platforms. But make sure also you do like and subscribe to SFeatleyTV right now. Become a member as well, right? For as little as $1.99 a month, you do donate to the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. and all that money goes to the foundation, and yeah, it just helps keeps kids alive. So you can't ask better than that, whilst you also get great perks with the channel as well. But yeah, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Ka-chow.